First at 4, some new details in a deadly shooting that was breaking news at 4 o'clock yesterday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Kalunian.
And I'm Kayla Fish. Providence police say they have someone in custody tonight. This was the scene on Prudence Avenue Monday. Right now, the shooter isn't facing murder charges because he says he only fired his weapon in self-defense when his landlord brought people with weapons to his door and kicked it down.
The landlord has now been identified as the victim, Jennie Jensen. 12 News reporter Sheena Loshuto is live in Providence with more on what police are calling just a terrible situation. Sheena.
Well, the man involved in this case is named Rufus Watson. Watson is facing several weapons charges right now and is behind bars facing $100,000 in bail money. But will he face any charges related to that fatal shooting? Well, police say that will be up to a grand jury. A dispute about a living situation and people with weapons on both sides of the door. That's what police say eventually turns into a deadly shooting inside of a Prudence Avenue home. Police were called there around 2 o'clock Monday.
Upon arrival, we found a female lying in the hallway in front of the third floor apartment.
35-year-old Jennie Jensen has been identified as the victim. She lived on the second floor and was the landlord. Police say the other person involved is 36-year-old Rufus Watson.
From what we're getting, Mr. Watson is staying in the third floor apartment, which was rented by his cousin.
That cousin apparently was no longer there, and Providence police say there were some talks between Watson and Jensen.
She had went up the stairs to the third floor apartment with her brother and another person and knocked on the door in order to evict him. It eventually led to them kicking in the door.
Police say Watson was waiting on the other side with an AR-15 in his hands, and the people entering had weapons too.
As Mr. Watson would describe it as a self-defense.
As for what's next, Providence Police Major David Lapati says they will continue the investigation and it will likely be brought before a grand jury. Meanwhile, Watson faces several weapons charges, including having a ghost gun and a magazine that can hold more than 10 rounds.
What's done is done, and we can't change that. But we have to investigate it and get to the absolute truth and the facts of what happened.
And again, Providence police consider this a very active investigation, working with the Attorney General's office right now to see if any charges will come out of that fatal shooting.
And Sheena, we've obviously learned that Jensen and Watson were not alone. So was anyone else hurt?
So the two other people that were with the landlord, police say that they left the scene after the shooting, so nobody else was hurt here. And we're told Watson is the only person that fired a weapon.
All right, our Sheena Loshuto live for us in Providence tonight. Sheena, thank you.